All right, let's get right into it. If you watch football at all, you've definitely seen the double pivot in action, even if you didn't know what it was called. It's the tactical engine room that powers some of the best teams on the planet. So what exactly is it, and why has it become so absolutely essential to the modern game? So, at its heart, the double pivot is all about a partnership. We're talking about two midfielders who sit just in front of the defense, acting as the team's fulcrum, the central point that everything else balances on. In a formation like the 4-2-3-1, they're literally the 2-2. Their entire job is to be the bridge between the defenders and the attackers, controlling the rhythm and flow of the game. But what do they actually do all game? I mean, it's way more than just standing around in the middle of the pitch. Their real effectiveness comes from how they work together as a unit to perform four very specific, interconnected jobs. Okay, so job number one, and this is the big one. They are a defensive shield. Their first and most important responsibility is to form a wall right in front of the backline. By operating in tandem, they completely clog up that central highway to goal. This makes it incredibly difficult for the other team's creative players to find any space to work their magic. They're there to break up attacks before they even get started. Now, once they've won the ball back, they switch hats completely. Role number two is all about the build-up play. Suddenly, they're not destroyers, they're architects. They'll drop deep, giving their defenders a safe pass when they're under pressure. They control the tempo, slowing it down, speeding it up, and they're the ones who start spraying those big, sweeping passes forward. A great double pivot can absorb an opponent's high press and with one pass, switch the point of attack and stretch the entire defense. The third role, positional flexibility, is really where you see the genius of the partnership. It's like a constant, unspoken conversation between the two players. It's an intelligent balancing act. If one of them decides to bomb forward and join the attack, the other one just knows to hang back, to hold the fort and maintain that defensive shield we talked about. This dynamic is what gives the rest of the team attacking freedom without ever leaving the back door wide open. And finally, their fourth key role, wide support. Look, in today's game, fullbacks are basically wingers, right? They're always flying down the touchline. But what happens to all that empty grass they leave behind? Well, that's where the pivot players come in. They have the awareness to slide over and cover those wide spaces, making sure the team isn't exposed to a fast counterattack down the flank. It's a hugely important and honestly a pretty thankless job. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. Not all double pivots are the same. Not even close. The whole function of the partnership can change dramatically, depending on the types of players a coach decides to use. Let's take a look at some of the classic combinations. This really breaks it down perfectly. The most common setup you'll see is the destroyer-creator. This is your classic muscle and brains combo. Just think of Claude Makalele winning every single ball so Frank Lampard could charge forward and score goals. One is the enforcer, the other is the artist. Then you have double creators, the go-to for teams that want to dominate possession. The absolute blueprint here is Xavi and Busquets for Spain, two technical geniuses who would just pass you to death. And finally, you have the double destroyers. These are two straight-up bruisers, whose only job is to cause chaos and disrupt everything the other team tries to do. It ain't always pretty, but man, is it effective against a powerful attack. So the double pivot sounds pretty amazing, doesn't it? But like any system in football, it's not a magic bullet. It has some massive strategic advantages for sure, but it also has some potential weaknesses that a smart opponent can exploit. You can see the trade-off right here. You get all that incredible solidity and control right down the spine of your team, but that strength can come at a cost in other areas. Let's break down both sides of this coin. Okay, the advantages are huge. That defensive solidity is the foundation you build everything on. It just makes you so much harder to beat. Plus, having two players deep gives your defenders easy passing options, making it way easier to build from the back and beat a high press. And as we saw, it's so flexible. A coach can adjust the roles on the fly to counter whatever the opposition is throwing at them. It's like having a tactical Swiss Army knife. But, of course, there are challenges. If your wingers or wide players don't track back and help out, you can get absolutely destroyed on the flanks. The system also lives and dies by the chemistry between the two pivot players. If they aren't on the same wavelength, massive gaps can open up. And finally, if a team isn't creative enough, their build-up can become a little too predictable, making it easy for opponents to set pressing traps and win the ball in really dangerous spots. So, when you put it all together, what's the bottom line? Well, despite those potential issues, it's pretty clear that the double pivot's value in the modern game is just undeniable.
And this quote really hits the nail on the head. The reason it's a cornerstone is because it provides the one thing every manager is searching for: balance. It gives you a rock-solid foundation that allows for both defensive security and attacking freedom. Its real power isn't just in what it stops, but in what it allows the rest of the team to do.
Which leaves us with one last big question to think about. In today's game, which is all about chaotic pressing and lightning-fast transitions, is that perfect balance the ultimate strength? Or is it actually a predictable structure that's just waiting for the next tactical genius to come along and expose it? So the next time you're watching a match, take your eyes off the ball for a minute and just watch those two players in the heart of midfield. Their fight for control could very well decide the entire game.